Welcome back to the 1009 podcast. The whole house is back after a holiday weekend, or as Beezy says, Christmas. He's very politically correct. Another great weekend of football, transfer portal news, DJ going to Oregon State. We'll probably get into playoff preview, Clemson preview, Christmas Day NBA review, I guess you'd say, but pretty busy Christmas weekend.
Yeah, and it was so busy that Beezy couldn't text us happy Merry Christmas, whatever, which was really, really cool of him, considering we've included him in everything we've done for years now, even though he refuses to give little to no effort back to us.
Doesn't tell us he got proposed.
Convinced that if we stopped talking to Beezy, he would not talk to anyone except for his wife.
Very parasitic relationship right now.
Very, very problematic relationship. A lot of domestic violence in that house.
Jesus Christ.
I'm Mary beating Seth, not the other way around. And yeah, you know what? I wish you Seth. But what the heck happened, brother?
I'm sorry. I messed up. I did. I should have
sound
texted y'all
so-
Merry Christmas.
As there's a deep drive to left.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd have to go back. We got to go back and make sure Grayson actually did say something.
He did.
Because
We all did. We all did.
y'all did check. I
Little
guess I'm
behind the
okay.
scenes action.
Oops. I'm sorry, boys. We'll get.
It's okay.
We'll say it the next time.
We'll get him next year.
Get you next
Yeah,
year.
Sure.
Exactly.
You ready? Bailey said, Merry Christmas, you filthy animals. I said, Merry Christmas, boys. Grayson said, Merry Christmas, gentlemen.
What?
And BZ said,
I think I saw Merry
Grace-
Christmas.
or Jacob, you wanna
want to
say your next text?
That's it.
You don't want to say that?
Nah.
as the
That's
editor,
okay.
we will not be reading that.
I look forward to that text from another group message every holiday, though.
You spread the wealth.
Spread the Christmas cheer. Says 20.
Actually, oh.
Yeah.
I think what I saw was that spam message. I was like, I'm not
It's not spam.
responding to this.
Yeah.
So I can't.
Jacob
So,
typed it himself.
probably.
I do
It wouldn't
all of
surprise me.
So
Anyways,
From the heart.
Seth's the bad friend. Hot. I know that's breaking news, but it's not, considering we didn't get invited to his wedding.
wasn't even on the pod last week.
Wasn't on the pod last week, gave us no answer. I mean, at least tell us you're doing something. You know, we're pretty cool. We're all cool here, being like, okay, you got something, no big deal. But
Didn't I say I
A
wasn't gonna
text.
make it?
you
Yeah,
didn't. We
but
haven't for like 9 days.
I'm so sorry, boy.
We're about to put a wellness check out for you. Like Jacob, but like
Let's call 911.
Dang, I'm going through our text. It really was a long time.
Well, you
Holy
saw that.
crap.
all
I'm so
gray.
sorry. All gray.
Not a lot of blue there, BZ.
All gray.
Little bit.
All
Oh my gosh, man. Well, granted, I've been scrolling for like 5 minutes, and this is just since Friday, so we're not.
Yeah, just 5 days ago. That's fine.
Man, was it that long ago? What were y'all doing for Christmas this weekend? Like,
Hanging
right
with
now,
our family.
stuff, watching
If-
football.
Seth, if
I
you're gonna
forgot
try,
this was so long ago.
if Seth's gonna try to tell us that he did not check his phone for 7 days because he was with family, brother, you gotta get out if that's the case. If it's actually true, which it's not, there's no way it's true. But if
There's
it
no way
is,
your family's that entertaining.
annulment, rip it up. So you can get annulment less than a year, so just something to think about.
Did you sign a prenup?
no.
What say? BZ's not the breadwinner, huh?
He did that pretty quietly. He's whispering now.
BZ's like, no, you shut up.
I know we're coming up on 1 year.
I would hope you know when that is. Otherwise, you're going to get beat up again.
It's just crazy. It's been that long.
You know it's that long, but you don't know how long it has been since you texted us. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
See how it is.
Well, it's kind of important that I remember that day.
Who'd you live with first?
You got me there. You got me there.
So
Listen, you can divorce a wife, but you can't divorce friends.
Technically, yes, I guess.
I'm watching Seth's wedding ceremony right now.
No, you're
What?
not.
Mary plus Seth, easily Church of God. They met in the 3rd grade. How amazing is that? Mary and Seth in a small, intimate ceremony.
Holy, you had to literally scroll back like a year.
Brother, I Googled.
What? No way.
3rd grade. On the fritz.
So sports.
Back to
Sports-
veering sharply back to college football.
We'll include some screenshots of this monumental day in Seth's life in the replies after this.
Do we want to go college or NFL? Because NFL was
College first. I think
college
that's
first.
on the forefront this bowl season.
We're going preview or review. There wasn't many games this weekend though.
There's not much
I
to
think-
review. We can review the transfer portal, but that really hasn't materialized into much.
Kinda.
What's DJ's at Oklahoma, Oregon State?
Right,
Go.
yeah. So like he was saying, yeah, Oregon or DJ to Oregon State, kind of makes sense with his brother being 45 minutes down the road in Eugene. A lot of those West Coast Pac-12 schools were kind of running out of quarterback space. DTR, he's not coming back, but
I don't believe so. They flipped a 5-star from Oregon to
Yeah.
UCLA.
and then Penix is
I
coming
don't think DTR.
back. No,
Then Drew Pine at Arizona State that filled another slot.
that's a
out
weird
west.
one. That's a
Yeah,
weird
that
one.
seemed
Did you guys-
odd.
Did you guys see that half of all ACC starting quarterbacks last year?
Yeah.
Who's left?
Jordan Travis.
Florida
would be the
State.
best one.
Yeah, Travis.
Van Dyke is leaving, staying, doesn't matter. He's terrible. Georgia Tech definitely lost a quarterback.
Left.
Sims.
He left.
Right.
Duke,
Armstrong
Drake
left.
May.
Yeah, Duke, North Carolina, both bringing QBs back. NC State, not. Wake Forest, not. Syracuse?
Yeah. Pitt's not. Boston College is not. Boston College flipped back, like,
Right.
same conference. But
Yeah, I don't know. That's,
I mean, why are these guys leaving? Where are they going?
Well, Sam Hartman's been there for 5 years, right? 5 years at a
Yeah.
school. What? Go see you at Wake.
Grad
And then
transfer,
Devin Leary,
basically.
NC State. I think the coaches might have screwed him this past year. I don't know. It
Wasn't
seems like
he
there's
injured,
some.
though?
Huh?
He was
Yes,
injured the whole
but-
year.
yeah, but their season was over, all intents and purposes, before that happened. So
Right.
Mm.
Brendan Armstrong, UVA. Tony Elliott may not be the guy to lead the Hoos.
Brennan Armstrong went
who
from
saw that
Heisman
coming?
sleeper to what the hell happened in about a month.
Right. Yeah. Jeff Jerkovich.
Djokovic. He's been there for like 3 or 4 years too.
He's been there a while.
Jeff Sims, Georgia Tech.
Keaton
uh,
Slovis to
Eden Slovis, Pitt.
BYU.
Yeah, he went to BYU.
Yeah,
And then
sure.
DJ
DJ.
He's just a transportal veteran.
Somebody tweeted and they were like, most of those, like the schools were like, hey, get on with your day. Like, it's not like we're losing
Right.
like Caleb Williams from Oklahoma to USC. Like, none of these guys, other than Sam Hartman, are really like good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hartman, May, and Travis would have been the 3 like monumental ones, and one of the 3 happened. So, and it was the 5th-year guy.
Right. Right. So yeah, I mean that's basically all that really happened portal wise
I mean,
and
I
college
get.
wise.
Are y'all surprised?
What?
Well, Bailey said he's not surprised at Oregon State. Makes sense because his brother's at Oregon. But I was surprised that a D1 school picked him up.
I mean,
I'm not.
D1. You mean Power 5, busy?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Power
I'm
5.
not at all. I would have been stunned the
Yeah.
other way, to be honest.
Yeah.
What?
Well, I saw a theory. Well,
Hawaii.
of course, this was just a rumor. Yeah.
The Hawaii crystal
You-
ball. I mean,
It's
that's
one thing you missed during the 5-day hiatus you took.
No. Yeah. No. I saw y'all say it. I think that's where I saw it. Maybe it was Twitter. But
I have a credible source saying he was gonna go to Hawaii. Credible source.
Yeah, you got some
I mean,
good ones.
it would not have surprised me. You're going back home, and that's the level of school I would think would take somebody like DJ based on his performance.
I don't know
all right.
about.
Based on his
Hawaii.
performance, not on
Timmy
his
Chang is a
Okay.
legend in college football and is going to do great at Hawaii, but they would be lucky as hell to have a former 5-star
Lucky.
quarterback.
Lucky. Lucky DJ.
The
Seth.
NIL
Okay.
deals just aren't there. The
No.
I don't
exposure's
like
not there.
I'm just
I don't
hating on DJ too much.
look
Honestly.
back. He's not like that bad. Like he's bad, but
Right.
he's not.
I bet he'll do.
Watch the other bowl games. See how those quarterbacks are. Go watch the MAC championship. See how bad those quarterbacks were.
Right.
And that was in the championship. Like
DJ would still
Group
start a lot
quarterback.
of places.
I mean, he
A
started
lot of
here.
places.
He started at Clemson, so like
Right.
what-
deservedly,
He'll be
I don't
fine.
know. But
He'll be fine.
He
I
will
think
be.
he'll
DJ
be-
also. I've said this the whole year. DJ makes throws where you're like, there's 5 guys that can make that throw.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
he makes those kind of throws. I don't think we're not gonna get that. I mean, let's just kind of roll into it. We're not gonna get that production from Cade. We're not gonna get, the 15-yard out route to the wide side of the field. He's gonna rip it. But what we're gonna get is an accurate quarterback that can move, and that's always a
manage
plus.
the game. Yeah.
Right. Legs are a weapon all the time, not just when there's 10 yards of open space somehow.
Right.
What was Oregon State's record this past year?
They were a
They
10-win
were-
team.
Bowl game.
They
were
destroyed Florida 30-3 in a bowl game.
They were a mediocre quarterback away from probably being undefeated.
Yeah.
They lost to Southern Cal 17-14 at home in a late night
Yeah.
game. I mean, that was a team on the rise.
Yeah,
And a
they
lot
were
of
Beat
people are saying
Oregon
that it's a
too. I
beautiful
did
fit,
not
too.
notice that. Oh
Yeah.
wow.
yeah, easy.
Yep, they did.
They were an average quarterback away from being undefeated. That's not a joke. Last
Okay.
year, I don't know who they're like losing and who's coming back and stuff for them, but they were a legitimately good football team.
They returned 5 offensive linemen. Like all 5 starters are coming back.
Wow.
So that's
Sure.
big
That's
for-
that's
yeah.
Pac-12 sleeper written all over it.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
that
I-
defense
I-
held together as a unit in any fashion, then yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
They picked them.
I wish the best. I really do want to see him like have a good year. I mean, I have nothing. I'd like to see him just, get a new beginning. How many years does he have? 2? 3?
He could
He has
play as
2
many
left.
as 2. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, yeah, hopefully he has a season that allows him to, I don't know, get drafted maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
I bet he will. Out there,
Yeah,
he'll
he can.
probably throw for.
Absolutely.
He'll have a solid year, and then he'll get drafted in Flake.
Yeah. I
Get
mean, I
drafted.
think that's their expectations. He'd
So
probably get
he-
drafted based off of his, what am
Skill
I-
set.
his attributes, I guess.
I think a year from now we're talking about draft potential easily.
They had 2 quarterbacks at Oregon State last year that had more than 100 passing attempts. One guy had 194 passing attempts, the other guy had 111. And the guy with 194 passing attempts had 9 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. And the guy with 111 attempts had 7 touchdowns and 8 interceptions.
So they were
So
a
that
run
is-
first team. That's what I'm hearing.
That is combined with 16 touchdowns and 13 interceptions. So, like I'm saying,
Yeah.
mediocre quarterback play. Oregon State is undefeated.
To Jacob's point, if you think DJ was bad at Clemson this year, look around a little bit. You will find much, much worse.
Yeah, he
Even
had-
at the power level. It's not hard to find.
Yeah, I mean, I know
And
that's true.
DJ was 22 touchdowns, 7 interceptions for 2,500 yards. Dang, he only had 7 picks.
It's not bad. And a lot
No.
of them came in the last
Right.
Yeah.
little bit, like Florida State, South Carolina,
Notre Dame.
and Notre Dame.
Yeah. So, yeah, if they had him this year, Pac-12 champs, or at least in the championship game, maybe.
Maybe they got throttled by
Yeah.
Utah, but maybe.
Right.
Everybody
It's-
did, apparently.
Right.
Oh,
So
20
yeah, moving on.
Yeah.
DJ, hope DJ does good. Once again, nicest guy you'll ever see. Like he seems to be the best teammate ever. Like all that stuff. Like
Yeah.
I just think he's not. So
Zero off the field stuff, zero locker room stuff, none of that.
right. Speaking of off the field stuff, did you guys see that a Tennessee player compared Cade Klubnik to Johnny Manziel?
I didn't,
Well-
but I mean, skinny white guy that wears number 2 that can run, so it's there.
I don't think Cade is going to be going out to strip clubs and doing whatever. It doesn't seem like that kind of guy. But
I
that's
mean,
just a
I think-
surface
I
level
think-
prediction.
Do we have a girlfriend check on Cade Klubnik?
I have no idea.
Well, we do know he
Alright.
has eye black crosses, so
It seems like he has a girlfriend. For a while.
yeah, no.
We'll see what
He's
happens in
stepped up.
February, and we'll go from there.
Here's the thing.
Yeah, it's always what happens in February after the prime time shine.
I mean, Johnny Manziel won a Heisman. So, I'd take a Heisman.
After
Cool.
Deshaun's last year at Clemson, I refuse to get my hopes up about any Clemson player winning the Heisman. I don't care what the stats are. We've been robbed again since then, so I kind of just over that. But that would be sick.
Tell you what, this wedding video is cute as hell.
Are you still watching it?
I hope you guys had a fun time.
It was a good time.
Drink all the
Thank you.
sparkling water.
Yeah, did you drink that night?
No, it did not.
Have you had a sip of alcohol since you've been married?
Yep.
There we go.
Who's breaking
Whiskey
news?
dick.
My mother-in-law, she came back from Paris 2 days ago, and she brought in some like whiskey base or something. I don't know what it was, but it was like some bourbon whiskey type drink, but it was like not that great. I had to try it. So she was just giving out shots to everybody, you know. I didn't take a full shot,
Sounds like
I
you're seeing
sipped it.
busy.
but no, she was the I shouldn't say this. She was
Go
the
on,
only one
go
drinking. so-
Your mother-in-law.
Yeah.
She was the only one. She's just like, y'all got to try this. Everybody tried it for her. And that was about it. So
Good story.
Party
Yes.
animal easy. There we go.
She was like, you guys, you got to try this. Everyone tried it.
that's all there is. That's literally all there was to it. It's like, why are you drinking? Okay, I'll try it for you. Whatever.
Did you get drunk?
Yeah, definitely.
One sip, one hitter, quitter.
Hey, you're
One sip of that strong liquor. It took me out. So
whatever. Anyways, moving on. Beezy's being
Center of
Yeah.
attention.
yeah.
mean, Talking about Clemson and Tennessee, do we want to get into a
Yeah,
little
Be-
preview since the game is Friday?
Yeah, let's get a little preview. Beezy,
Yeah,
what's your
it's
prediction?
about that time.
Score prediction.
score prediction. Whew, that's hard.
usually-
38-30. Yeah, we'll go with that.
38-30. Who?
Us.
Us.
Of course.
Okay.
I think I don't know, man. How many wide receivers does Tennessee have out?
I know for
That's
sure
like off the
Two.
the two
Jalen
guys.
Hyatt and Cedric
Mm,
Tillman. are
It
the
might
two.
not be as high scoring. I just know our secondary is not great. They have a great. Well, they don't have the quarterback anymore. I don't know, man. This is a hard game.
Nate
This is a hard
Wiggins,
game.
dog.
Dog. Dog.
Comeback
Hey,
player of the
Wiggins,
year.
dog.
This is
Josh
honestly
Downs
like
never
really
heard of him.
hard to predict because
I never know until
you
like
don't even
right
have your
before kickoff.
starters.
I can't.
Yeah, I think we timed that text well.
At the height
just
of your
wanna-
emotion.
I just wanted to know Beezy's thoughts.
I think if the total approaches 70, we're going to be very uncomfortable. I'll say that.
I would say that more with DJ at quarterback, but with Cade, I feel like
I mean, we've seen
It's
3.5
a little
quarters
bit
of
different.
Cade.
still.
I'll say I'll put that on the Cade hype up a little bit.
Yeah, right. I was about to say.
Yeah.
This is
The worst defense in America.
yes,
That's true.
literally the worst Power 5 defense in the country.
He made some good throws, which like he made good throws, right? He made good throws, but North Carolina is dog water. Like they are so bad.
Yeah.
But
They're
they were in
bad.
the
But-
ACC championship,
But
so they had to win a
but-
couple games.
Coastal's bad.
The ACC coach was a joke, BZ.
to Cade's credit, DJ looked awful against North
He
Carolina.
had 2 drives and didn't
Yeah.
even get a first down, I don't think. So
No.
Yeah, he looked. Come on, ECU.
yeah, but I think we've got to, like Jerry said, push back on the Cade Klubnik stuff because we're literally just doing the same thing we did to DJ after the Notre Dame game in 2020. We
Literally.
saw 3.5 quarters
Yeah.
and we
Literally.
said, here is Jesus Christ at quarterback resurrected. We're never going to lose a game again. And then now it's the same thing, a true freshman who gets to start in a bowl game now as opposed to DJ having to wait another preseason, offseason, whatever you want to call it, to really get the starting job. But it's Cade's job to lose now. I don't think he'll lose it anytime soon, even with Vizina coming in the spring. I just think that Honestly, if he throws for 150 yards and we win, no one's going to remember it. But if his game is off in any way, shape, or form, and we lose this game for whatever reason, it's going to look a lot worse. And I think that it will be more unbearable on social media.
Yeah. But if he goes 350 for 4 touchdowns,
We're winning
Oh.
that.
Heisman.
Like 9-1 to win the Heisman.
See, there is 2 ends of the
On
spectrum there,
might
Grayson.
tank himself if Cade Klubnik
Yeah,
goes
yeah.
off in this bowl game beats Tennessee.
Yeah, if he goes for 350, I will actually wave the flag for Cade Klubnik Heisman, Clemson 2020 national
Then
title.
it will be out of control because then it's going to be
Oh.
15-0 season. Cade will
Yeah.
throw for 45 TDs and run for
Yeah.
15 more, and it's going to get very out of hand. We're going to expect like
Right.
90 points in the spring game, 110 in the Beanie Bowl. It's going to be out of control. But
Yeah, anything less than like 15-0 next year is just going to be like a failure.
if we win a
he
game by
does-
less than like 21 points in September, people are going to be calling for Devo's job.
If we're not scoring 45 points a game,
Right.
Yeah. Or if Cade doesn't look good, then the ramp up on Grayson's boys really gonna be hitting it on old
Yeah.
Streeter.
That's
It's loud. It's gonna be loud.
yeah.
So
For Streeter's sake,
who
and
knows?
I've been
Maybe it opens up the
it's-
playbook.
Yeah, I
Dude,
mean,
the-
really, we're playing for next year. We have nothing to lose at this point. Tennessee, looking
I
for the
live-
first. Go ahead.
I live in Knoxville. I have a lot to lose. I have
I
been
mean,
so much shit. I have like $1,400 on this game. With like everyone that wants to make $100 bet. I'm like, done. I'm in. Let's go. Let's make it.
I have
So-
a
me.
1-800
See-
number for you.
On a different scale, that's like me living in right outside Columbia.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, it's good when it wins, but it's bad when you lose. So
Quick trivia for all three of you. The last time Tennessee won 11 games, which is what's at stake for them Friday, what year was that? I want y'all to guess.
99, 98, whatever. It feels like 98.
Easy.
Yeah, I was gonna say late 90s.
Oh no, was it early? Was it before?
2001.
When we beat him in the
2001?
Peach Bowl.
No, that was 2003, 2004.
That was 03 or 4.
Wow.
But-
That was a big upset though.
It has been over 2 decades since they've done that. And 11 wins to us is
2 years
we're
ago.
firing position coaches and crucifying quarterbacks. So,
Even though we won 10 last year and nothing happened.
right, just some perspective for expectations and fan bases and stuff like that. It could be worse. We could have been bad for the last 25 years, and this is our best season since a lot of their fans were born. So, I think that either fan base is going to be insufferable in a win, and the losing fan base will pretend
Yeah.
not to give a shit.
We
the
win, we're
SEC is
going
famous
natty.
for that, but
That's it. Tennessee's not going to care because they think they got
Right.
screwed with Georgia and the weather and the South Carolina game and Hendon Hooker getting hurt. And they got the 5-star coming in next year, so who cares? And they're
Right.
going to run the SEC East next year. So, like, they're going to be like, oh, the Orange Bowl, who cares? It's not the playoff. That's what we expect.
We didn't even have
And then-
Jalen Hyatt playing.
Yeah, and then we'll be like, well, it's not the playoffs, so our players didn't care. So, like, there's a huge
The
right.
high
If you
upside
scroll
and
2 weeks
don't
back
care
on
for
their
loss.
anonymous Twitter profiles, they're dogging Florida for losing to Oregon State 30-3 in a bowl game.
Right.
So it's
I do think there's a better chance for us to win like 40-10 than them to win 40-10.
Yeah.
yeah, I'd be
Mhm.
stunned if they scored 40.
We're missing
Was
2
Vinny-
guys on
I
defense.
know we have an opt out and an injury, but on defense, but that unit as a whole,
It's an injury opt out.
I think is I would be stunned even if
Simpson,
What'd you say, Jacob?
what are your thoughts on Trenton Simpson, quitter or team player?
Oh,
I-
he also wasn't here with Miles Murphy either. That's a
Isn't he
big one.
injured though?
he has an
Murphy's
ankle
He's
injury.
Okay, so why
I
can't he leave?
hesitate to not believe things like that. I've realized that I think if
We've seen
Miles
things.
Murphy had not opted out, we look at the Trenton Simpson thing a lot differently. But now that has been established as a thing that happens at Clemson in opt-outs, that even this is the first one, I
don't
don't
think
count
it is.
Simpson as an opt-out.
I
really
mean,
don't.
you got guys like Jordan McFadden, Davis Allen. Like all these guys are still playing, going pro.
Brian Bresee, who may come back, AJ Henry.
But they're not top 5 pick.
That's fair.
Right.
A good game from McFadden against that good DN that Tennessee has might boost him up a round or two.
Who are you taking first, Will Anderson or Miles Murphy? Character guy. Will Anderson still playing in their bowl game.
Will Anderson, not even close. Will Anderson.
I know, but like still, he's playing in their bowl game. He's a top 5 pick.
So is Bryce Young. He's gonna be the first overall pick and a QB.
Nope,
Right.
Will Levis. Mel Kiper's big board.
Right.
The fact that it's QB1 on Kuiper's big board is the
Dude.
kiss of death on his chances of going number 1 overall.
Also QB1 on mine for right now.
Well, the people need an update. So
Why are you talking about Trenton Simpson in particular, though? Because I thought his injury was going to keep him from playing anyway.
correct.
Yeah, but the
It's a
injury.
They're
Yeah.
questioning the fact that it's an injury in the first place, which
It-
I
Well,
hesitate to
if
do.
Miles Murphy is opting out and is just saying it's for that reason, why would Trenton Simpson have any reason to fabricate?
cover up.
That's what I was saying. Yeah.
Cover up.
I just
I
think
mean-
it's suspicious that an ankle injury is going to hold you out of the Orange Bowl and you announce it a month out.
Yeah. Unless it's that severe of an ankle injury.
Well, that's-
Like-
yeah,
Or
that's
something
like a
that you could
stupid-
be 85, 90%, not 100%, and then you worry about re-injury. Because, I mean, ankles, one of the easier things to re-injure. I'll say that.
Yeah, I've done
And
that.
look at X. I mean, I know it's not an ankle for him, but he tried to come back on that foot and
That's post-op.
Re-injured
That's
it.
completely different.
well, he did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, did he have a surgery?
Yes, he did.
I thought he didn't have surgery until after he injured it again. Okay.
Right. Yeah. After the first time he didn't, but after the second time he did.
And so it's not post-op.
Well, it is right now, but
Now-
in general,
right now,
yes, he
but
did
like he-
return. Right. Okay, I got you now. Yeah.
Yeah. Like
Anyways.
Trenton is kind of in that same spot where he's like, I don't want to play on this bad ankle in the case that I do re-injure it and it's going to hold me back for draft prep. I don't feel like there's anything. He's got a better excuse than Miles to me.
It's just something to drum
I'm
up.
with you. I don't think they need an excuse, either one of them. I think that we need to kind of get over ourselves in that regard because there are teams that have 10 guys opt out every year without fail. So,
Yeah. I mean, look at
think-
Tennessee. I mean, some of their best receivers are out. So
Right. So I think that the pearl clutching kind of needs to stop. But I understand that this is a new thing for Clemson. So I'll give
don't
people
like it.
a pass. It's inevitable. I don't know what people want. You're not going to avoid it forever. So
To play for the team that you're committed to, and that committed.
Some of the bowl money for sponsorship should be given to the players to entice them to keep playing.
Yeah,
So
there's
you think it's all
literally.
about
I
money?
wouldn't mind that. It's just never going to happen.
I mean, there's NIL now. Like this is a clear opportunity. Like
If
some
y'all
of the
play
sponsors-
this game, you get $1,000 or $10,000. It ain't
Yes.
gonna be like that, but
Well, not that much. Ooh,
a bonus for a bowl game.
Jesus.
Sure.
Jacob's like higher.
The Cheez-It Bowl does 2 bowls now, right? They do the Cheez-It Bowl
Mhm.
and the Cheez-It Citrus Bowl. And they sponsored NIL for or a person on every team playing in that. So 4 guys, they NIL sponsored them that are playing in the game for the Cheez-It Bowl. So
Yeah.
the money's there. The money's there.
Right.
yeah. Maybe some of these bowls
Hey-
like the Wasabi Bowl or something like that, but the Bahamas
Yeah, I mean, it's like,
Bowl-
hey, we'll give you, we'll give $300,000 for naming rights for the bowl, right? And then,
Yeah.
which is about average, and then 150. I don't know. It's gonna be a lot to pay the players, man. I don't know. Actually, I don't know.
I think you'd have to pay a select few. I don't know. You
It's
can't
kinda
do
what-
that either.
It's kind of what I'm dealing with this app that I was telling you guys about, where it's like 120 players is a lot to distribute money to. Like it diminishes each player's value a lot if you want to do it evenly. Because 100
you-
grand, you give a team
Six
100
string
grand,
vinyl.
right? But I'm
It
saying
could be
if you give
based on starters, then backups, that kind of thing.
But
But
then
that's so tough. The depth chart changes like this.
yeah,
Yeah, I know.
Like,
You couldn't do
The starter might play the first 3 snaps because the actual starter got in trouble, and the backup second string plays 95% of the snaps. So you can't do it like that.
it. Nah, you can't.
there's so many different.
I don't
Well, I mean,
think you
'cause-
need to be enticed with money anyway. Like the fact that I don't know. I have a more conservative view on it. So
Controls for free?
what?
You work for Johnson Controls for free?
No, but it's my occupation. It's not college. It's not. It's way
It's
different.
their occupation.
Yeah,
Right,
They're
but I mean,
not-
the
that's not a
athletes, they're
paid
in.
job. What?
But they're working more
say-
hours than
just-
90% of the country. I'll say that.
To say that that's not their occupation and not their job is
all
so
they do.
ignorant. So ignorant.
No, I understand the time
I
commitment.
mean, BZ, we were going 60 hours a week, and they did more than we did.
Yeah,
We didn't even play.
like you said. I mean, they spend way more time. I work 40 hours a week. I mean, you got to go to school. You got to do stuff during the summer. You got to do.
They've got that like Wednesday afternoon. They're hitting 40 hours.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I
meetings,
mean,
film,
no,
practice.
it is a huge
treatment.
time commitment.
Yeah.
I'm not discounting that. It is like a job. It really is. But I mean, it's never been. You're also getting. I don't know. I'm not going to get into it.
You're getting money.
The other thing is, what are the odds of you tearing your ACL at work?
Very
We're
little,
dying.
but
Right.
We're dying.
fine.
Or
Probably the
forgetting your
same as-
name and eating soft foods the rest of your life starting at like 47 years old.
What's 42?
I mean, if he does one wrong wire, he could.
He doesn't do any work. He's white collar, baby.
You're right about that.
Seth doesn't have hands that are made to build.
What does that mean?
He's a bread maker.
He's a bread maker, but not a. That's what Mary's for.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, moving on.
Speaking of NIL, thoughts about Dabo's quote?
I don't like
It was so Dabo, I thought it was fake. I hoped it was fake. Then I saw like the fourth beat writer tweet it, and I was like, shit, this really happened, didn't it?
But then I can just picture him saying it too. Like it's just one of those like.
Right. And again, people hate it. But
That's the beauty of Dabo Sweeney is that he wholeheartedly believes it. It's
it's
Yeah.
been
not a
consistent
shit.
since 2008, since the
It's
first
not a
press
shit
conference.
at this point. That's
No.
just how he feels. And
I think
genuinely-
15 years is long enough to clear it as not a bit or like some Hugh Freeze-esque, like, I love Jesus, let me go call a stripper from my office phone. Like, this
Right.
is not equal.
I'm
I
not-
think people like Hugh Freeze that do it and then turn around and they're pieces of shit doesn't help overall. But
Yeah,
Dabo
they
is-
all kind of those people into the same type deal, and it's like,
right, you can't just lump them in all together.
Right.
You know,
it's just like the cool thing online to like hate on evangelicals right now, which is hilarious. I don't know where that flip turned, but it
it's-
did big time.
yeah. I mean, I guess it's, Christmas time and you can't say that. So Dabo can't say anything about his faith, even if he's the most consistent person in the country with it.
Yeah. But he opened up that can of worms with the whole new spring, saying that God with the name, image, and likeness.
It's funny because like you can hate on like somebody like a even Christian evangelical saying that, but like the second you do it to another religion, like imagine if like he would have like said, I don't know, like we do our image in Allah, right? Name, image, and whatever, like for Muslims, and someone shitted on that, like they would be fired immediately.
Yeah.
One of the
But
worst
now
responses I saw, kind of along those lines, was someone quoted it and said that God is perfect and our program can't be in the image of God because we lose games and we're not perfect. And I just thought that was one of the worst takes that I saw. I forget the name. I wouldn't repeat it anyway. It's just stupid. But they had a blue check mark, probably one of the $8 ones that mean nothing. But yeah.
By the way,
pretty
for
bad.
listening, we're not ruling out that we're not going to get yet.
Yeah.
We're not ruling that out. It may be stupid, but we're not ruling it out.
If we do, we will not use
It makes us look
to
good.
promote us being pieces of shit on the internet.
So,
Or at least we will try not to.
yeah, that was that. In case you didn't hear the quote, go look it up. We're not going to get into it anymore. But
Done. We're done.
Yeah.
Easy. Love God.
Do I love God?
Ah, you're going to hell, my boy.
Getting warm
I'm
at
asking
the
you,
Baker
that's what you
household.
said?
Anyways,
Yes, it
moving
is
on.
what he said.
Huh? Moving on. I do love
Playoff
God, but
picture
yeah.
as a whole, I feel like we should just go round table with this. I mean, it snuck up on us. We talked about it before we hit record that it's this Saturday and we have to preview it because it's here. It's
Yeah.
the 27th as we sit here. These games will be Saturday. I think they're sticking to 4 and 8 kickoff wise. That's still the model that we're going with?
is Atlanta 4, Arizona 8?
I
No,
think
Michigan-
TCU. No, that
Vice
Michigan
versa.
game's early.
Michigan TCU
That
4.
sucks. Well, that's going to be at like 12.
Right. So that'll be
Yep.
matinee kickoff for them.
Wait, what? Where is that game? Arizona.
Arizona.
So
The
it's.
Fiesta Bowl. Yeah.
I don't know if it's.
It's 4 p.m. Eastern. I'm looking at it.
Ooh.
It's 5,
Right. It
5
should be 1
p.m.
o'clock out
Arizona.
there.
It's 5:45 in Arizona. Arizona does not abide
Oh
by
yeah. Oh, I forgot they're weird.
daylight savings. They're only 2 hours behind right now.
Not too bad then. I mean, that's early still,
No, so-
but
It'll be 2 p.m. for them. I mean, that's not the worst thing.
Different. It feels like a different game though. Like
right.
I know this is
It's
in the dome
indoors.
too, but
It's indoors, which will help. So you won't be like really able to tell.
we will.
So who do we think's gonna win it all? Who we got in the Michigan TCU game?
I think it's gonna be close, but I'm going Michigan.
I got Michigan too. Straight up, at least.
Easy.
I said Michigan. Yeah, just because they've played, I feel like a higher level of competition. They've been here before, like TCU's first time. So,
I mean, Michigan's gonna win.
Yeah. Are y'all more surprised that this game is around a touchdown betting wise, or the nightcap in Ohio State and Georgia also sitting around a touchdown with regards to degenerates?
I figured it'd been more of a 9 point or so.
I thought TCU Michigan would be like 11. Honestly.
really, I don't think
So
it's that mismatched.
I thought it'd be pushing 10. At least it was not public
Touchdown
money, if
seems
nothing
appropriate
else.
to me.
Is what's his face playing for
Duggan?
Michigan?
No. Corum? No.
No.
I mean, but that backup's
Donovan
about as
Edwards is
equal.
extremely talented.
Yeah, he's good.
I really feel
Oh,
like
Played
7
30
is
seconds of the
appropriate.
Ohio State game, and Edwards destroyed them. So
What?
I said I feel like 7 is appropriate.
No, I mean, dude, like the only teams TCU played, they got manhandled. Like the physical
Kansas
ones. Like
State was the
K-State-
closest thing to Michigan they played, and they had a lot of issues with them. So that will be
And they
interesting
should have
to see.
lost first. They should have lost first time. But
They
K-State
should have lost
quarterback
a
got
couple more games too. That Baylor stuff, like
Yeah.
they're
This
not
might
a
be
big
another one of
elite
those
team.
blowouts that we always have in the semi. This might be one of those games.
Yeah,
Look,
I mean,
I-
TCU's offense is built. I mean, they play from behind every week, and they're fine with it. I wouldn't recommend that with Michigan, but
But Quentin Johnson, Max Duggan can get hot.
Yeah.
They
Quentin
could
Johnson.
have
first
And that
round
running back is no slouch either.
pick. No,
yeah,
he's
they
not.
could have 2 touchdowns before you're like, what the heck just happened?
It could be
You know?
14-3 TCU 8 minutes into the game, and you're
They
like,
get
what
one
the hell
quick
just
3 and
happened?
out, get the ball first, get a quick 3 and out or something like that. Score both drives.
Right.
I
I mean,
do
any
think-
missed coverage on Quentin Johnson, that's a touchdown.
Yeah, but over the course of 60 minutes, I think Michigan will.
Yeah. Figure it out.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, we saw it with Ohio State. First half, CJ Stroud was throwing the ball all around, hitting Marvin Harrison wide open. Second half, nothing. So
Yeah, man, I don't know. But moving on to the second game, I hate that it's TCU or that Ohio State's in just because like if they win, then there's a chance that it's Ohio State Michigan again, and like we just saw like it wasn't like it was a close game. They got destroyed.
Right.
But I think Georgia's gonna win, but I may pick Georgia to win and take Ohio State points.
yeah,
I'm leaning that way too. This is it's feeling 2015-ish. No one's really giving them a chance playing Georgia. I believe they beat Alabama in a semifinal that
That was
year.
14.
14. With Zeke, Cardale Jones, and
Yeah,
okay.
first year.
14. Good call, BZ. I mean, they're not down to QB3 this time around, but big loss in Jackson Smith and Jigba, who, like Trenton Simpson, not healthy, not going to push it and try and play in this one. But Ryan Day has got to do something, because if this is the blowout of these two, like Ryan Day's seat begins to get warm,
He's a
because
low-key hot seat. He
like,
is. He's
yeah.
on the-
what the hell has he accomplished since he got there? Honestly, like
he
they-
made
beat
I mean,
us
he's
in a
made it to the
semifinal.
playoff twice, but those were all
He beat-
Urban's guys.
He did.
beat-
I think we are forgetting he did go to the national title game.
Yeah.
He did
He
do that.
Right,
routed
and
them.
Trey Sermon got hurt, and the game ended immediately.
Oh
Unfortunately.
yeah, they could blown out, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Trey Sermon broke his collarbone like 6 minutes into the game.
Y'all are saying this dude is on the hot seat. He's 45-5.
He's on the hot seat for Ohio State. You can't lose back-to-back years to Michigan.
Yeah. One thing
Easy. They're like minus 40 against Michigan the last 2 years. And Urban Meyer they beat them like 8 years in a row with Urban Meyer. So
man, the expectations for that team.
Right, that's what we're saying.
I mean,
that's
we
all
went
it
through
is.
5 years of Dabo losing to South Carolina, and
Yeah.
there were people that wanted him
I mean,
gone.
if that happened now, if we lost to Carolina 3 years in a row, don't matter what else we did, it might be similar, honestly.
Correct.
Right. I mean,
Correct.
it feels a bit like Kirby Smart at Georgia before the championship year, or before the championship runs at least, because he took over for Rick. They were almost the exact same, and he really didn't have the big wins, at least not in the playoff model. But of course, last year breaking through and set up really well to try and repeat, as hard as that is in college football. But yeah, these same whispers were happening in Athens before. Like I said, he broke through last year and won a title finally. That overtime loss to Bama hurt. That was one of the more embarrassing ends to a big game, let alone a championship game. I mean, just a blown coverage, and the guy just runs. I think he's Devonta Smith, correct?
Yeah. Devontae had like 200 yards in the first half.
Right. So, I mean, similar situation. I can't say I'm rooting for Ryan Day to figure it out. I think he's pretty smug.
He's his favorite coach.
He looks like he dyes his hair.
Dye, yeah, definitely like jet black for no reason. So.
And Harbaugh's quote about him being born on third and thinking he hit a triple.
He's literally Dave Doran at an elite program. That's really it. Like, he puts in place a firm ceiling, and you will not go above that unless something miraculous happens. And I don't know that they beat Georgia. I mean, if they had TCU as a matchup, maybe they get Michigan again, maybe. But playing the pretty consensus number one team in the country in Mercedes-Benz, I believe, in Atlanta. Yeah. I mean, good luck. I know they travel well in general, but I mean, that's going to be, like you said, a home game, honestly. They've already destroyed LSU in that building. They've already destroyed Oregon in that building. So, I mean, will he use that as an excuse post-game? Probably, regardless of the score. But I think Ohio State fans are just kind of getting tired of it, especially with the blowout losses to Michigan, because that almost matters more to them than anything else, especially in the manner they've been losing. So,
especially since Ryan Day's kind of a dick.
He doesn't sell himself well personality-wise. That's a good point too. He's not really ingratiating himself with.
Okay. All right. Let's say this, right? Hypothetical. Where is Ryan Day if he doesn't have that wide receivers coach?
Out of there.
Yeah.
Heartline has been a revelation at Ohio State.
They should give it to Heartline.
He brought in a 5-star receiver recently. I don't think it was signing day. It was briefly before. But the recruiting job he's done as an alum and an NFL guy at receiver has been incredible. I mean, Marvin Harrison Jr., Jackson Smith and Jigba, the third guy whose name always escapes me. This year alone, Olave, Garrett Wilson, two NFL guys, both first-round picks, I think, last year's draft. I mean, you want to talk about position, whatever that award is that Elliott and Scott
Royals.
Yeah, that should go to him unanimously this year. I don't know if he's even up for it. I don't really pay much attention to it, but
he's bringing wide receiver U back to Ohio State.
Oh, it's there now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's there now. Yeah. You land 2 first-round picks, and then you have the 2 best receivers in the country, maybe. I mean, that ship has sailed to Columbus, and
it feels like early to mid Jeff Scott kind of recruiting.
All right, ready? So 2023, Ohio State has 5-star wide receiver number 4 position, 4-star wide receiver number 9 position, 45th overall in the class, 10th overall wide receiver, 61 nationally. So that's 23. I think they have a 5-star in 24. I want to say. Yeah,
24. The receivers next class are going to Columbus.
I'm 2 overall player, wide receiver for next year.
Who they got thrown to him though now? That's the thing, because they just lost that 5-star.
You could run Wildcat with those guys.
Well, they have this guy named Dylan Raiola of 2024 who has a 1.000.
No.
He decommitted.
He might head to Nebraska.
Nebraska, he has
Well, they still have him at 90% Ohio State on this thing, but I don't know.
Well, he was committed there until about 2 weeks ago, BZ, so that would lead to that. But you're correct. Until very recently, he was there.
Emeka Egbuka, is he still at Ohio State?
That's the guy I was talking about. The guy I couldn't remember his name. Yeah, he's incredibly good as well. Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah, I mean, him and Harrison in tandem have filled the void left by Smith and Jigba being out most of the year.
Holy crap, he's so good.
Yes. Yeah.
He'll be the first wide receiver taken next year.
That's what I'm saying. Their wide receiver 3 is wide receiver 1 at 90% of the time. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Brian Hartline may get.
Oh, and he also pulled Fleming to them too, but he kind of ended up being a bust.
Still, he could be getting a top OC job or head coaching job very, very, very soon. I would believe it if Ryan Day keeps this, by their standards, mediocrity.
Julian Fleming has 500 yards and 6 touchdowns. Is that? Okay. I mean, like
that's. But he's lost behind Marvis Harrison, whatever his name is. Like, that's still a weapon.
All right, so Ohio State has the number 8 yards, Marvin Harrison. Number 20, Emeka Egbuka, whatever. Hang on, I gotta find it. Oh wait, I gotta do OSU.
And the fact that Julian Fleming had 500 yards, our leading receiver had 563 this year.
All right, they have number 8, number 20. Whatever. Moving on. Not working.
So, we'll get a national championship preview once the playoffs have figured themselves out. So, but right now, I think we all got Georgia, Michigan. So,
which makes me think we're going to be wrong on one of those two.
Yeah.
Honestly. Like that consensus concerns me.
Absolutely. It should.
I hope TCU wins, man.
No.
Oh, I forgot.
I would like to see Michigan win it. I don't know why.
What?
Yeah, Michigan I will say my polls, I did take Michigan. I expected a lot of Georgia, so kind of going against the grain a bit there. That was not weighted any more than other games either, so just strategy-wise.
I'm just hoping it doesn't come down to that game.
Right, and it'd be tough to hedge with the favorite, which I think would be Georgia in that matchup. But, I will cross that bridge when I get to it.
It really depends, though. Like, if it's a close game with Georgia and Ohio State and Michigan just blows out TCU, you think Georgia would still be
favored? I do.
Georgia's favorite.
Say this again. Say that again, Jacob.
So I don't care if Georgia wins by 1 in quadruple overtime on the biggest fluke play of all time, and Michigan wins by 97. Georgia will be favored.
It comes down to power ratings, things of that nature, neutral field as well. I think that, and it may be by 2 or 3 points or lower than that, but I think Georgia's favored against anybody in the country on a neutral field. So
I mean, that's fair. I don't know. I think Michigan. Yeah, I just want whoever wins the Fiesta Bowl to be the winner overall. I think it's a very common viewpoint because who wants to see Ohio State or Georgia win? So
not me.
I'm fine with Georgia. I'm fine with Georgia now. They've won one. Like I didn't care because I wanted to gatekeep it and be like, haha, 1980, But like now that they won it, like. Whatever.
And I don't know enough really Georgia fans to talk about that stuff either.
I mean, like I'm indifferent toward it, but I would rather see somebody new win it. So, like, that's.
I don't want Ohio State to win it. I don't know why, but
I'd
rather Ohio State not win.
Someone new, like the historically non-dominant Michigan Wolverines.
I think TCU's only really qualified new blood here. I think Ohio State, due to incompetent coaching, is almost considered new just because they've been so bad in these spots and getting to these spots.
4 or 5 times now.
I know Ohio State's been in the playoff, like so many times. Michigan, how many times have they been?
1 last year.
Last year, that's it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, Ohio State blew the 16-0 lead to us in the semifinal. Broke through, beat us with Fields, and lost in the championship. They did win it in 14.
Everyone forgets when they lost 31-0.
I don't.
No, I don't.
Is that 2015, right? Or 2016?
2016. in the club
16.
seats, me and Jacob. But
AJ
yeah,
Hawk.
in tears, unfortunately. But yeah, that's about it for college football. So NFL wise, first game of the week. There's a bit of a weird slate. We had a game Thursday. We had a lot of games Saturday, 8 1 o'clock games, a couple in the middle window around 4 o'clock. And then we had Sunday night football on a Saturday. So that was different. But starting with Jacob's Jaguars, they beat Zach Wilson and the Jets 19-3 in honestly a terrible game. If you didn't have rooting interest like we all really do with our Clemson guys on the field.
It was
Zach
a rainy
Wilson,
Thursday night game.
Zach Wilson needs a DJ kind of deal. He just needs to escape and go elsewhere with less pressure.
I don't think it's a DJ deal. I think he just should be out of the league.
Nah,
no one's
I hesitated out of the league. I think we got to pump the brakes. Out of the league.
I'm not completely out on Zach Wilson yet. We all saw that throw in shorts on the pro day.
Just run that play every single time.
Pretty good.
Yeah,
Pretty
like
good.
Mitch Trubisky, who's like 28 now, we know he sucks at football, at least at this level. But I think that Zach Wilson.
I'm not out on Mitch. I'm not.
I mean, he's a younger Nick Foles. Like I don't understand what. Like that's where he's.
So younger Super Bowl champion?
Yeah.
If Mitch Trubisky wins the Super Bowl, then sure, I will be in on him. How about that?
He was a field goal away from getting closer.
I mean, sure. Whatever. Tim Tebow won a playoff game. I mean, really? We're gonna start this.
Hey, when was the last time Chargers went to Super Bowl?
Yeah. Speaking of teams also falling on fumbles, we will move back to the Jaguars. They will play in a big Week 18 game, which will probably get flexed to the late game, which will be the last regular season game. No PTSD from me there, but the AFC South will be decided Week 18. Trevor and the Jags playing Malik Willis and the Titans. I would be, at least at this point, surprised to see the Jags drop that one, and I'll be rooting for them. But with Tannehill,
what if they lose against the Texans, though?
it won't matter. It won't matter, BZ.
It doesn't matter?
Yeah, because the Titans lost
just
have, this week.
They just have to beat they're in.
Okay, I didn't know
Right.
that.
So a very rare case.
If they lose to the Texans and beat the Titans, then they'll have the same record, but the Jags win the head-to-head.
Okay, I got you.
It's a very rare scenario where the week before doesn't matter any scenario. It just doesn't affect it. The division.
Trevor.
Yeah. So the division and probably which team makes the playoffs will be decided in Week 18. So that will be a big Sunday for Jacob. The Miami Dolphins have lost 4 straight games. They lost again. Tua concussed again.
He should not play football. Yeah, he should not. That's a joke. Like, I don't think he should play football.
He would headline concussion too. And I say that like half joking. Like I just don't think that the cost benefit is there at this point with him. Because if I saw like an attempt to pinpoint the play and his head snapped back and slammed into the turf, and those 3 picks on his last 3 drives came after that play.
The spotters suck. The spotters are terrible.
I hope those people, like, there has to be a system in place where if you miss something like that, you don't get paid and you get fired. Like, I don't understand why. I know they're getting compensated. I don't know what, but I'm sure it's enough to be doing your job responsibly.
It's probably like the MLB like the Umpires Association. They probably just have like the strongest union ever where you can't get rid of them.
Yeah.
Because they
Until
are
technology catches up, we get like sensors in helmets and things like that. To where we can just,
we have to have that.
it might be a funding issue. I'm sure the technology is there, honestly.
Yeah,
it's the same thing with like having the goal line technology for football, if it breaks a plane or not.
Right. I mean, if they have it in tennis, how hard can it possibly be?
Correct.
I don't understand that.
It's a
tennis gets
thing.
that right better than, I mean, I guess VAR is getting there, but tennis does that better than anybody as far as replay goes.
But we don't like VAR, right?
It's not a perfect system.
Yeah, it's not correct.
There's still human error in how they look at it.
I'll say this from a guy that watched, roughly 4, 5, 6 soccer games in my life. And one time I saw VAR. I don't like that it's used to make calls where like a guy's like left shin is like this much offside. It's like that's not the spirit of the rule.
Yeah.
does remove the gray area entirely, which is, going back to baseball. That removes the, the human element of it, whether you like it or not. I mean, once it's gone, though. So, Dolphins still in the playoffs as a 7 seed at the moment. There's 4 or 5 teams lined up right behind them should they continue to drop games. Looking like we'll get at least a week of Teddy Bridgewater at QB1 for the Dolphins. So off the top of my head, couldn't tell you their last 2 games, but they will be very important as they look to cling to that last playoff spot. I think they're 8-7 at the moment, and they've dropped 4 straight, something to that effect. But just not great for Miami.
The Ravens wins.
They're 2-5. They got some ugly wins though.
The Ravens?
Yeah. What?
They're the Vikings, but they've lost 1-score games. And they've blown atrocious leads in almost all their games.
I saw something that said if the Vikings or if all the 1-score games or something like that were flipped, the Vikings would be 1-13.
Well, they're 11-0 1-score games.
Yeah.
And we'll get to them as well. They played a little bit later on, but tough week for BZ's Browns. Eliminated from the playoffs. NO finally slowed down Deshaun Watson, and the Saints beat the Browns by a touchdown.
That took me a second.
Grayson wrote that down.
Just like last week with the defense.
No. Last week I didn't write down, but that I did beforehand. But yeah, so BZ, thoughts on the Browns season? Odd one, honestly, with the Deshaun situation, kind of a black cloud throughout the year, but did come back late in the season. Just did not look like the Deshaun we got accustomed to.
Yeah, I mean, I think after they were basically out of it by the time Deshaun got in, correct? They
needed wins and a lot of help.
No. If they would have went 4-2, they were in.
Right.
Yeah.
They needed a lot of wins.
Deshaun?
Yes.
Yes, when Deshaun came back. Dude, they were 1 game under 500 when he got back.
No, or worse.
Hey, Jacob, they can still go 4-2.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they lost the Bengals, which I think was their important one.
Right.
They might need to go undefeated.
That was that was the only one they had to win that one. I mean, he's won 2 out of 4. So
He's 50.
he could definitely, or they could definitely win out too, looking at this schedule.
I mean, they also got kind of screwed over the play calling in that game. It is negative degrees and snowing and ice, and you're going to throw the ball 30-something times. What
the heck, man?
Yeah.
I didn't watch that game, honestly. I didn't realize.
I looked at the stats.
It was tough to watch.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
He was just
17-10 final, I think, and the Browns had a couple shots in the end zone late to try and tie it. Yeah. I think David Njoku couldn't quite bring a decent throw in at the goal line, but who knows how that would have gone.
The Saints finally got smart and put in Taysom Hill. This is the perfect Taysom Hill game.
Exactly. Beach on the ground. He had a rushing TD, I believe, too, that opened the scoring. But
all I know is Deshaun. He really hasn't. He's looked really bad. I mean, he hasn't played for 2 years, which there's going to be rust.
He's a predator, and I don't like him. But at the same time, he hasn't played in over 2 years.
Yeah, literally 2 years. I know. It's going to take him a little bit to get back into the swing of things. But
he's a sexual predator.
On the field, he's fine. Off the field, terrible guy.
Seth, where we sit now, expectation-wise, what do you feel on as Deshaun gets a full offseason and preseason heading into next season?
I mean, I don't really know that much about.
I mean, they have a playoff caliber roster. I think that's a pretty safe statement to make. Talent on defense, Amari Cooper,
studs.
Nick Chubb, lead the offensive charge talent-wise. Kareem Hunt, another star of his community. So I think that
they really do. They have some terrible guys on their team, man. For real.
They got a guy that'll go flip his car in the middle of the season.
Yeah. Thankfully, Myles Garrett is okay after that, but
he's an idiot.
Yeah, that's just not smart.
It's like when having Cam Newton flipped in his truck.
That was scary. Those images as well after the wreck did not look great. But again, thankfully, okay after that. But yeah, I don't know about winning the division, Seth, when you share division with Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
Maybe Lamar Jackson. We don't know. He's yet to get an extension, and it's unsure if he'll get that in Baltimore or elsewhere. But I mean, I think that next year, at least for me, I would say, at least with the expanded format, playoff team. I mean, you've only got to be top 7. So I think that, if Deshaun starts to look more like himself, then that will go a long way. And again, Jacoby Brissett literally lost them like 3 games in the first 6 weeks, throwing late picks. Okay. So, would they have won a playoff game if they made it? Probably not. But I think that I'm a bit surprised to see them out of it, even as much as they struggled early. But I think as a Browns fan, you couldn't really expect a whole lot, and you didn't get much when he did come back this year. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think that playoff is the expectation next year for sure. Again,
that's a fair bar, I think.
I think people will be disappointed. I wouldn't call myself a Browns fan. Like I was a Texans fan for the period of time. I wouldn't call myself a Browns fan at this point. I watched their couple games. I might be a Jacksonville fan, honestly.
No.
Can't jump on the bandwagon now. You had your opportunity.
Why? What you mean?
You're already after Jacob, and Jacob tends to be pretty late to the point with these things. So I think that shit may have sailed.
I mean, I've been paying attention to Trevor the whole time.
That's fair. I mean, that's what drew you to Houston originally, the Clemson quarterback entering the NFL. But
you sure you don't want to put your pain and suffering through teams like me and Grayson?
Well, hey,
Seth,
they made playoffs.
I know you're going through a lot at home already. I will not subject you to the Chargers, which we'll get to. But
dude, you made the playoffs.
I know.
Playoffs?
I will harp on the pain that I have felt the last 4 years anyway.
Playoffs?
Playoffs?
We let the Colts hang around for 3 hours with a literal amateur at head coach and Nick Foles at quarterback. So,
Big Dick Nick, Super Bowl quarterback.
Forgive me for not being a stat.
I want to say this. I think I'm getting on the Chargers. I think they could win a Super Bowl.
They're a dangerous team. They
will play up to everyone, and as we saw last night for 3 quarters, they will play down to anyone.
Just don't target anybody.
How are you telling me a 17-point victory? I mean, I'm looking at the score line.
Right.
Don't be the AP committee.
Even still, I mean, they were 7-3 at halftime, right? One touchdown.
Yes, they also, in the red zone, just forgot how to throw the ball, which they continue to do, which is amazing. The Colts coming in had allowed 8 straight TDs in red zone drives, and we went 1 for 4 in the red zone with touchdowns or something like that. So, we didn't need the points because, that offense is atrocious. No Jonathan Taylor. It would have been nice, though. But, like you said, 20-3, clinched a playoff spot. That's what really mattered. Just needed to win. So
I can see how that would be very frustrating because Herbert 24 for 31, but no touchdowns and 1 interception. That's just frustrating.
Right. And the pick was tipped, but, not the best throw in the world. He had a lot of amazing throws, but that wasn't one of them.
That's a great – what is that completion percentage? Really doing the math. Was that 75?
Somewhere in that
77. I mean, that's a great game. If he had 3 touchdowns, it's wow, this is an amazing performance. But
yeah, Eckler ended up running in both the touchdowns we scored. Cameron Dicker, Texas legend, knocked in a couple field goals, and that was, like I said, all we needed. But, sorry?
Has he missed a field goal yet?
I don't think so. But I'm going to knock on you better, too.
Oh, that's going to come to bite you in the playoffs.
Yeah.
There's going to be some graphics displayed in the playoffs, and I'm going to lose my mind when he misses from 35.
I mean, he will. He will.
That's just how it happens.
And it's going
He's
to be
a Texas guy. They tend to do that in big spots, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there because we may end up playing Jacksonville in a couple
He's
weeks.
got ice in his veins. He did beat Oklahoma with one.
Yeah, he's beaten Atlanta. He beat Tennessee. I think there's another one I'm forgetting at the buzzer. Which again, I would say those teams and they're atrocious teams. We shouldn't need a game-winning field goal. Which to my point about playing down to people. But right now we're slotted to play Cincinnati. It could shift to Jacksonville. So I definitely.
Ooh, how would you feel about that one?
I would much rather play
Which
Jacksonville.
Jacksonville.
We will. Grayson, we will shove it up you, baby. Remember what happened beginning of the season? Yeah. Now we got a better team, baby. We got a better team, and we're clicking.
I've heard we used badly a lot. That might be the worst instance I've heard in a long time. You weren't even a Jaguars guy in week 3 when they maimed our quarterback viciously, worse than when we actually stabbed our own quarterback. So I think that's
It's all about the present, not the past.
right. So when he breaks out those checkered overalls, should a certain game Friday not go our way, then Captain Consistent over here will be ride or die once again.
It's been very much documented. I have little to no loyalty. Little to no loyalty.
This sounds like you after a certain super regional as well.
He has loyalty when he can sit courtside.
Well, don't buy any Final Four tickets because Tennessee won't be there either. So.
Oh, really? You want to make a bet on that?
History
Who
tells
goes further,
Rick Barnes has
Clemson
been
or
coaching
Tennessee?
for 80 years, and Clemson's not making the NIT this year again. So
Boys are hot. The boys are hot.
I'm all the way. You want to talk about out on somebody? Brad Brownell, just resign, take your buyout money, and go somewhere.
If he makes it to the tournament, he's got another 5 years on his contract.
If he makes it to the tournament, I will stop calling for his job.
They look good. They look good.
I will. If we make the NCAA tournament, I will not call for him to be fired daily anymore.
Okay.
I will make that promise.
10-3. Go ahead.
We have to go 7-13 to finish the season to match last year's record. 7-13.
I don't think we do that either. ACC's kind of down this year too.
Yeah, we're winning 20 games.
Yeah,
we're winning 20.
But didn't we start off hot last year too, and then just kind of leveled out and did terrible?
It seems to be the trajectory of the roller coaster that is the Brownell tenure.
Yes.
I think we were ranked at one point last year.
We were so good, and then it just we fell off the face of the earth.
Which is what happens when you start playing good teams in conference, Seth, unfortunately.
I know. We're going to do the same thing this year, I'm sure.
But we're 2-0 in conference this year. We beat
Duke lost to Wake, and we beat Wake. By math, we're better than Duke.
We did transition, beat Duke. That's important. So, maybe I'll change my tune, but I would not hold my breath on that.
So
quickly wrapping up NFL, Vikings, like Bailey mentioned a little bit ago, did it again. A 61-yard field goal at the buzzer to beat the Giants, but not cover the 4 points, which is important to me. Vikings now 11-0 in one-score games, which as a Chargers fan, I'm jealous of because usually we are the inverse of that. So it must be nice to have a horseshoe stuck somewhere for the last really 15 weeks. Where do you guys see the Vikings as we sit NFC hierarchy? Are you guys in on them as contenders? Because I don't think I'm there yet still.
Yes and no. Yes, because they win these close games, and you got to win close games in the playoffs. That's obvious.
And they're TCU almost.
Yeah. But no, because they're winning close games against the Giants, they got to come back from down 33-0 to beat the Colts. Right. They got the offense.
Team that just scored 3 points in prime time.
Yeah. Their offense is good. Their defense is just god awful.
It's just bad.
Abysmal.
Justin Jefferson has dragged that team to this figure.
Yeah.
What do you think, Seth?
No, I mean that many close games, that luck's going to run out in the postseason.
Yeah.
I would agree. I mean, NFC wise, I feel like you can order this however you want, but Niners, Cowboys, Eagles, and then gap. I mean, I wouldn't take the Vikings against any of those three in the playoffs. I don't care if it's Brock Purdy, Minshew, maybe. I think Hurts will be back by that point, though. They'll have a bye as well. So I just don't think if you're the fourth best team in your conference that you can really be seen as contender, especially
What's their best win? Vikings.
Honestly, that's tough. I mean, the Bills maybe? Or did they lose that one?
They did.
They won that one, right?
They beat the Bills.
Yeah. I would say the Bills then.
Dolphins early at the time was probably
that
a
hasn't
good one.
aged well recently.
Yeah.
Those in tandem, I mean, they've got wins. It's just the manner in which they do it.
They have had an easy schedule.
Okay, they got beat by the Eagles by two touchdowns.
That was like that early Monday night game. Yeah.
Cowboys 40-3.
Dominated.
They turned that game off of CBS. It was so bad. Which is like a new thing they're doing where they'll peel away to a closer game. And that was a murder. So, I mean, the two best teams they played, they played 2 to 3 teams in the NFC I just mentioned, and they got beat by, 60 combined points in those two games? So I think that the skepticism is warranted.
Yeah.
Bailey, Panthers. Cost me money, but still alive. What do you think?
Remember when I said a couple weeks, or when we lost to the Steelers, we got away from the run game. We ran for 20-something yards against the Steelers.
Go ahead.
On
Yeah.
the first play of the game, we had a 70-yard run. And then we had 240 yards rushing in the first half. We ended up breaking the team record. We had like 329 total rushing yards for the game. Like Sam Darnold was running the ball. We're a very run-heavy team. That's our offense with occasional deep shots. DJ Moore had a couple deep shots. They're a really confusing team. I want to go to the playoffs, but then again, I mean, if Will Levis is a number one quarterback off the board, and we end up with like Stroud or something like the 10th pick, which I doubt he gets that far, but
Probably not.
I don't know. At this point, let's just go in the playoffs since we have a chance. We got to beat Tampa, and then like if the Saints lose this weekend, then if we win and Saints lose, then we're division champs. But pretty much we need to win out. But I don't know. Defense looks good. Does suck that J.C. Horn broke his wrist. Don't know if he's going to be able to play or not.
Wow, I missed that.
Yeah, he did it during.
Try and club it.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be the worst idea for a cornerback to club it, get away with some holding pass interferences, but
you can try it. I mean, yeah.
Did sign Josh Norman to the practice squad.
They signed him?
Don't know how well that's going to work out. I'm not expecting anything at all.
As long as he's not fighting people, I think.
So, I don't know. I think Wilkes is the guy for the job. He's done nothing to lose it. He's 4-1 as an interim coach. Like Matt Rule could do that. Yeah.
Post Rule. I think that. Yeah, you rarely see the interim tag turn into a full-time job. Like it certainly won't happen in Indy. They've looked like shit.
And he's a Carolina guy. He went to App State. He coached for us when we went to the Super Bowl. Like
he's been
just give him the job. Give him the job now.
I think they'd be well served to do that. But who knows? They need a quarterback. They're seemingly teetering on playing themselves out of one, except for the guy from Kentucky. We won't say, but
this is a take. I'm totally not out. Like, I'm not sold on Sam Darnold yet, like as a bad quarterback. Because one, he had what's his face in New York. What was his name? Adam Gase. He had Adam Gase as his coach, and then Matt Rule. Two of probably the worst hires in the past 5-10 years, something like that.
Right.
He's looking competent right now. And he's a sneaky fast quarterback too. If he's able to like run a little option, throw a little bit, like he could be a playoff quarterback, but that's asking a lot. And we shall see if he sticks around for another season, and who knows.
My only concern would be it's more of an NBA problem than anything, but just timeline comes to mind as how young that defense is.
Yeah.
DJ Moore is probably 26, 27 around.
He's coming up on a contract year.
Right. Got rid of Robbie Anderson. That was a good subtraction there. I think a young defense and a veteran quarterback can work. I just don't think it's, ideal usually. I mean, you see like guys like Burrow, Herbert, Tua, they're adding veterans too, but I just think that, long, like, 3, 4, 5 year contract long. I just don't know if Darnold's the guy there. But I mean, as far as this year goes, Baker experiment, good idea, bad results, I think. I mean, if you got Rams kind of performance from him, then it would look a lot better. But it just, for whatever reason, didn't work out. But they've got Matt Corral waiting in the wings once he gets healthy. PJ Walker, an interesting option as well. XFL guy who's had some bright spots, but not enough to be the starter with Darnold healthy, which I think is fair given what Darnold's done, at least lately. But there's some very interesting. I mean, the South divisions really both being decided by head-to-head division matchups. I think it's fascinating. A lot of divisions already wrapped up this time of year. The AFC West for the 7th year in a row is going to stay in Kansas City. I think the Eagles are a win away from locking that up and the 1 seed, honestly, with Dallas 2 games back with 2 to play. So very good to see some meaningful division games by teams that, not contenders, I wouldn't say, but they're still scratching and clawing for playoff spots.
Yeah. So it's going to come down, like you said, come down the wire for a couple divisions.
Right. Anything else NFL?
Uh, Nothing really.
Anything for you that we didn't mention, Seth?
Nope. Nope.
All right. Then I will quickly run us through as a podcast the NBA Christmas Day slate because, in my opinion, it kind of sucked. It didn't help the NFL kind of broach their territory with that. Traditionally, the NFL rules Thanksgiving and the NBA gets Christmas, but the NFL, with the holiday falling on a Sunday, did put some games out, and the NFL games were okay. We had Dolphins Packers upset there, Rams in a blowout over the Broncos, and then late, I think was it Brady escaping against Trace McSorley and the Cardinals, which was the closest game that no one expected. But yeah, NBA Christmas Day, one game within 5 points. It was a late game. Suns Nuggets. Devin Booker left literally seconds into the game. Was trying to come back from a groin injury. Maybe for the fans, help his team out. Just clearly was not himself. Left the game. They ended up losing an OT, blowing a late lead. Other guys out: Anthony Davis, Steph Curry, Chris Middleton, Tyrese Maxey, all recognizable names not in action, which I think didn't help the matchups because they were. I mean, team-wise on paper, they're supposed to be good games. The Warriors were the big upset. There's usually one. I think they were 8.5-point dogs. They beat the Grizzlies in a rematch of a very contentious playoff series last year. It's just interesting that the Warriors now care about December games. They remain 3-16 on the road, but improved to 13-2 at home. So make sense. You can't win with Warriors fans. They're pretty much the most spoiled fans in sports. It's kind of like Patriots, but in the NBA, you get people that start watching the NBA. They start following the team that won a couple in a row. They start to fall off, and all of a sudden it's excuses. But, it's an impressive win without Steph. I'll give him that. Bane and Ja both playing for a healthy Memphis squad. So, like I mentioned, biggest upset by far of the day. And, the West as a whole, very, very, very close. The 1 seed and the 10 seed are separated by 5.5 games as we sit approaching the halfway point in the season. It's a lot more stark out east, where it's kind of that clear tier of the Celtics, Cavs, Bucks, Nets, and Sixers quickly approaching. The Nets have won 9 in a row after a big road win in Cleveland last night. So Kyrie and KD seemingly turning the Nets into a contender finally. As far as the fantasy league goes, Seth picked up his second win of the season. I think he got Jacob a couple weeks ago. I'm still a one-loss team, and Jacob and Bailey fall somewhere in the middle. I think Bailey's a bit better than Jacob record-wise, but
6-4.
Like we always say, we're all playoff teams here. Even the Fighting Beesies, with just 2 wins at this point, he will be in the playoffs, and I still maintain that he will win this league somehow. But for now, it's looking like me, Bailey, Jacob, Seth in that order. Again, just a 4-team league for the hell of it. So, more updates to come there.
Speaking of updates, our bowl pool, Grayson is currently leading with 15 wins and 5 losses. I am tied for second with 12-8, and then Jacob's down to 10-10. So he's dropped off a bit. Grayson's gotten hot for here past a little bit, so hopefully he cools down and I heat up. But it's going to pick up here soon with a lot of ball games this week.
Right, the good ones are going to start to come. ECU, who I have up 3 on Coastal, who I believe Bailey has. ECU at the Coastal 1-yard line with about 2:40 left in the first half, so that'll be an interesting one to follow.
Yeah, I got the spread. I got Coastal +7 and then the over.
I got you. I hit Buffalo, Memphis earlier today, trusting the blue and white teams did me well. I've got Wisconsin late tonight, battle of backup QBs with
and
Graham
East
Mertz.
Carolina just scored.
Perfect. They're also covering. That's big.
No, it ain't.
There they are.
That's not big.
Shut up. Wisconsin, Oklahoma State, Mertz and Spencer Sanders, respectively, both out of town. So battle of backups. Weird game. I kind of wish I was Oklahoma State now, but I have Wisconsin in the pool, so if I just let that ride, 4.5 spread in favor of the Badgers just adds to the weirdness, I think.
That's weird.
But it's late football, 10:15. That's a little bold on a Tuesday night as far as TV ratings go, but it
Where's
is
that
on the
game
Full
at?
Letter Network.
It's in San Diego, isn't it?
It is the Guaranteed Rate Bowl, which is Chase Field, Phoenix, Arizona.
Atlanta. Or Phoenix, Arizona.
Yeah.
Same
Yeah,
area.
you're right. Out in Arizona. So
We've been to
that will be
stadium.
Cardinals, right?
Diamondbacks. We saw. Were you at that?
Oh, yeah.
We saw Baylor and Boise State.
Yeah, I remember that. They converted it.
Yep.
I got you. Yeah. All right, that's all coming back to me. But yeah, so interesting venue. Had a game at Fenway already with one sideline. This one's a little more uniform as far as what a football field typically looks like. But that will be a good white noise game. But that's about what it is. Beezy, are you in the bowl pool at all?
No, he did not.
No.
Wow, another mark for you lately. But that's fine. You can listen to us complain about it. As far as the week in sports, anything that we missed from either of you two that we want to talk about real quick on the way out?
I think we're good. I've been out of it this week, as y'all can tell. So.
Right. AWOL Seth. But yeah, that's about it for the week. Jacob dropped off towards the end. Not sure what was going on with him, but hopefully nothing too serious. But yeah, so that's the week in sports. Apple and Spotify, YouTube, Twitter, 1009, all that stuff. If you're in the bowl pool, we appreciate it, and we wish you the best of luck as you all chase me because I'm in the lead a third of the way through the bowl games, which surely will hold up without fail. But yeah, that's all we got.
Yep. Deuces.
Subscribe.